Hello, my name is Elias Pisot, and I'm a half Romanian, half Spanish 13-year-old living in Bucharest, the capital of Romania. And over the last couple of months, I've become a fierce student of both social skills and the Spanish language, which, as you could tell, are two completely polar opposite subjects. Now, how did I do this while actually staying sane and enjoying the process while also improving very basic aspects of my life and turning my life into a way more desirable treasure, not only for me, but also probably for my loved ones? I did this by creating information banks. And I guarantee you, if you create your own information banks, if you actually know where to extract information from, how to extract information, and how to apply it to your life will probably become 10 times better day to day. Because that's basically what improvement is. Improving your life, improving your life. You will improve your life if you know how to extract information and properly apply it. In this video, we'll be learning how to actually extract information, but before extracting information, we need to learn where to extract that information from. And lastly, we'll learn how to actually apply that information in order to make our lives better, in order to enhance the experience, in order to enhance the experience not only for ourselves, but for our brothers or sisters, our mother, our father, and maybe even our friends if we try hard enough. 1. Where do you actually look for when it comes to gathering information? There are 5 different sources, and I can rank them very, very clearly. Number 5, articles. They are easier to read than books, but more consuming than YouTube videos, and less nourishing than both of them. Even like the best articles, which in my opinion are the ones from James Clear and Mark Manson, are just censored versions of their books. So do not read articles unless they're like the only thing that is accessible for you. Number 4 is the most purely artistic form of information, and it's theater. That doesn't mean it's a bad source of information, as I will talk about later, but it's the most purely artistic one. And it's probably the hardest one to actually get like some practical information from. Because if you go to see, I don't know, what's a very, very popular theater play? I can't even remember one right now. I don't know. If you just see like an interpretation of mm, the Three Piggies and the Goddamn Wolf, whatever, if you just go to the theater and see a random play, it is going to be very, very, very hard to actually extract information from it because it's pure art. You can't really extract pure information from pure art. But it is certainly worth it, and I'll discuss how to actually do it. 3. We have very like obviously movies, right? They're just like slightly better than theater because they're not as cryptic when it comes to their information, but they're still pure art, so it's hard. Number 2 and number 1, they're kind of interchangeable in my opinion because one has better information but is way harder to actually like crack, to actually extract the not to extract the information from, but to actually engage with it. And the other one has slightly worse information, but is very easy to consume. Number 2 is YouTube, or are YouTube videos. YouTube videos are just such a great source of information. If you watch Alex Hormozy, Hamza Ahmed, whatever other self-improvement channel, whatever lecture you want, a Jordan Peterson lecture, and a compilation of Aristotle's quotes, whatever. If you watch one of them, you can probably very, very easily extract something to apply. But that thing, even though it's very easy to extract, is not going to be nearly as effective, as rewarding as the thing you get from number 1, which are books, which is books, right? Books are by far the greatest source of information, but not everybody is going to have the energy to read them, right? You should read, like, I don't know, at least 10 pages a day, whatever, but it's going to be very mentally consuming. I do not believe the people who say they read 80 pages a day and actually understand something, actually apply something into their day-to-day life, because it is goddamn draining. The information is fantastic, but the amount of information you can extract is kind of limited, which is why I do not know how to compare YouTube videos to books. Of course, books are better. If I needed to actually choose one, I would choose books. But if you're really goddamn tired, if you do not think you can extract something like of quality out of books, watch a YouTube video, because it's not as hard and the information is probably going to be only a bit worse. Now, how do you actually, the second part, how do you actually extract information out of articles, plays, the theater, movies, YouTube videos, and books? Well, I don't really know how to explain it because it's a very, very spiritual process. But you basically need to look at that piece, right? At that chapter, at that I don't at that page, at that video, at that actress, at that line in the article, and actually say, what does this wake up in within me? What do I interpret this as? If I tell you right now a quote from 100 Years of Solitude, which is a fiction book, I'll talk about how fiction really goddamn helps you, which is, I put this once in my like a community post. It's when a character comes back from the goddamn dead, of course, because it's magical realism, and it's he had really been through death, but he had returned because he cannot bear the solitude. What does that tell you? What can you personally extract from that? I interpret that as being kind of a warning that once you die, you will be goddamn alone. You will wish you could come back to life, but you probably won't be able to because you don't live in a goddamn book. You don't live in 100 years of solitude, right? In that universe. But you will certainly, if we have consciousness after we die, we will certainly want to go back to like the living plane. That's a basic necessity of the soul, being here alive. So that's just one more motivation to just enjoy life, to profit everything you can, right? To enjoy life, to not stress, I don't know, because you will want it back if you have any consciousness after you die. And you might be alone in that realm as well. You know, as Marketh says, following Marketh. Next step, the final step, the most important step, is how do I actually apply this into my day-to-day life? Now, I'll show you my process. I have this little notebook, and each day I write one thing that I can improve. Today was just, I noticed that I like don't read at all recently. So my resolution for today, you can call it a resolution. Some people have like New Year's resolutions, but why would you have New Year's resolutions when you can just have daily resolutions to make your life 10 times better like each day? Why would you limit yourself to like every single new year? You don't get many of them. What you do get are is is a lot of moments before going to bed that you can think about the next day and actually think about something that can improve it. So let's say, for example, oh, he had been through death, but he had returned because he could not bear the solitude. Whatever you extract out of that, make it into an action. It might seem impossible, but once you become a master of subtext, a master of like metaphorical, goddamn complicated things, it will not be as hard to turn that quote or whatever complex philosophical literary quote you find into an action that you can very, very easily take. That's how you apply it. You don't apply like 10 things at once. You apply a maximum of one a day, because you will never be able to apply like 5 things in a single day. You can have all of the information you want, but if you don't concentrate on one every single day, as Seneca says in his like second letter to Lucilius and like letters to a Stoic, if you don't concentrate once on one thing a day, you can have all the information you want, but you will never apply it. It all comes down to application. And lastly, to put a neat little bow on this video, why does fiction actually help you more than non-fiction? My camera, my phone, is currently being held. I'm currently like, how can I say this? I'm holding my camera up with 100 Years of Solitude by Marquez. That's literally why I thought of that example. I'm literally touching it right now. It's the support for my camera. Fiction is going to help you more than non-fiction, because non-fiction gets really goddamn tiring after a while, and most non-fiction books repeat the same goddamn thing. Fiction never is repetitive. You can read Wuthering Heights, 100 Years of Solitude, I don't know, Tom Jones, whatever, and each new page will give you a new insight into the human condition, into your condition. An action that if you're good enough, if you're smart enough, if you have, admittedly, read enough nonfiction, which is just like a baby food when it comes to fiction. If we needed to think about like nonfiction and fiction like difficulty in eating, fiction would be a fine steak, and the nonfiction would just be an appetizer you start with. The real information, the goddamn 10 out of 10 amazing information you find in Marquez, you find in the Bronte sisters, you find in Proust and in Flaubert, you find in Joyce, because those are the ones that actually do it sincerely, not the non-fiction books. The 4-hour work week is like the base, the educational base of entrepreneurship. It is fantastic, but you can't endlessly reread it. You can just read this non-fiction book that I have right here above my finger. This one, right? And you won't need another one. I guarantee you, you won't need another one. Fiction will always make you smarter. Fiction will make you more empathetic and smarter. It's just true. If you want to extract proper information, read fiction instead of non-fiction for like a while, at least try it. So to recap, the 3 steps. 1. Wherein extract information from. This in order. 5. Articles. 4. Theater. 3. Movies. 2. YouTube videos. And 1, I think, are books, right? 2. How to extract the information. That other one was where to extract information from. How do you extract information? You just really see what it tells you. It doesn't need to like put it into your ear like this. It can say something and you can interpret it like something completely different. It doesn't even mean, you don't even need to understand what it's saying perfectly. If you interpret it as something that is actually kind of intelligible, you can apply it. It's probably going to make your life better. And then, how to actually apply it. Concentrate on one every single day. Do not wear yourself out with all of this information, and make sure that you're actually concentrating on that one for that day. And do not forget to also, in that day, to apply the ones that you have, to apply the resolutions that you have made the previous days. Because that's what continuous improvement is. Not improving something different every single day, but improving something and cementing that into your character. And not only making your life better, but the lives of everybody around you, enhancing the lives of everybody around you. I have been Elias Pisot, and I'll see you later.